a special council meeting tonight to address the possibility of ICE building a facility out at the airport. Hey.
Yeah, he's right here.
Hey, I just went live. If you want to share that with some people on my channel. Thank you. Howdy. Thank you for coming out. Let's go inside here, folks, and see what we can see inside. There is still a half hour until the meeting starts. We have a terrifying T-Rex here with a sign. In the Ice Age. I like it. Thank you for being here. Thank you, ma'am. We can see it is very packed here at the Newport City Hall. We're going to see if we can find our way into the chamber. Oh, pardon me. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Are we full in there? Or?
Yes.
I'm just going to be standing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Squeeze by you real quick. Let's see here. Very full house, folks. There are people lining the halls up and down. The entire city hall is full at this point. Trying to find the best spot for me to post up here. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Pardon me. Like I said, the entire council chambers is filled to the brim. And there's people up and down the hallways out there. Howdy. There is still a half hour until this meeting actually gets going, folks. I was going to hang out outside and get some filming of the people outside protesting with signs. But I don't think I would have been able to get in here if I had done that. Lots of other media representatives here from all sorts of agencies. I spoke with some people that were down from Portland. Oh, pardon me. I'm just gonna hold it like this. Yeah. I don't want to get kicked.
Want to go on the other side of the little tripod, you could go there. So just kind of block the door. You might just kind of shove people around a little bit.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep. I'm trying to be out of the way. Trust me.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Let me sit down.
Just don't.
Yep.
You're in open yellow.
I'm not trying to get hit with the door. All right. Chief Malloy there, folks. Trying to keep order in this situation. It's kind of a better shot anyway of how many people are here in the room. And like I said, there are many more people lining the halls. They've set monitors up in the hallway so people can view this. And thank you everyone that's tuned in currently. If you would go ahead and please share this stream so that more people can, hello. Very packed house, definitely. If you could please share this video so others can see what is happening live. Mr. John Fuller right there. The public relations for Newport. Howdy.
Good to see you again.
Likewise. So what do you guys think about, oh, you're fine. I'm just like, it's just going live. What does everyone watching right now think about what is going on? We can see lots of people taking pictures. Just proof of how strongly this community is opposed to what is happening. But yeah, what do you guys think about the situation that's being addressed tonight? Do you think it's fair that they're going to try to railroad this project through? You know, and I want to make the point that while we have a dam that is liable to fall down under a good shape that we are needing federal funding for, we can't get that, but they can railroad this project through. So to answer your question there's been many rumors that ICE is attempting to build a detention facility out at the municipal airport in Newport. So this is a special city council meeting for basically to give the public some information and a chance for the public to voice their opinion on the matter. I believe it's going to be, I believe the mayor and other officials are going to make a statement and give everyone some information, and then allow everyone a chance to make public comments. And then probably a closing statement from the mayor and other officials. All right, is that you? Nice, nice. Battling it out here. I agree, Dave's channel. Definitely, we need to be a strong and united, not even just community, but country right now. You know, we do need to stand strong in these trying times together. And again, folks, I've just got to say, this is only a part of the people that have shown up in protest tonight. No, you're good. There are people, like I said, up and down the halls of City Hall where they have set monitors up to view this. So again, all these people you see here, maybe half, probably not even half. I believe that there's people outside. And what time is it? We still have 20 minutes until this thing goes. And what would you say? About 300 people? About 300 people here. 300 people here already. I was going to walk around, folks, and see everyone that was here and try to get some opinions about how people felt about what's going on. But like I said, I don't think I'd been able to get up in here for the actual meeting if I had done that. I agree, it is not actually big enough. It normally is plenty big enough to hold most events for the city council, but not tonight. That is how strongly this community feels. I don't believe they had enough time to organize that. They might do another informational session. I kind of hope that they would in a larger venue. That way more people could actually be present. The Visual Arts Center might be a good option as well for a larger venue. Thank you again, everyone that's in here. Please hit that like button and hit the share button and send it to someone you think should be viewing this meeting. We have about 18 minutes until this meeting gets started, so plenty of time to share this around and let others know what is going down here at Newport City Hall tonight. There's going to be 2 minutes apiece for public comment, and they are allowing 2 hours of public comment. So in theory, there should be 60 public comments. I have a feeling we're not going to quite get that many people into the public comment to speak, but they are hoping to get as many people close to that as possible.
Yeah.
There's actually John Fuller standing right in front of me here that told me that earlier. Ooh, I can tell you this, folks, it is getting warm in this room. I see they've already got the doors cracked over there, but that's not quite cutting it. It's a lot of bodies in this room. Tuning in from Massachusetts, thank you very much for taking interest here, what's happening here on the Oregon coast. While we wait, let me tell you about what happened to me about a month ago, the beginning of October. I went up to Portland to there was lots of notices on social media and the city's website. It did happen pretty quick. I think they only put notice up about 48 hours ago that this was going to be happening. But again, so at the beginning of October, folks, I went up to Portland to see what was happening at the ICE facility. I walked around a little bit and was just viewing what was happening. I ended up standing, probably 10, 15 feet outside of the driveway there at the ICE facility in Portland. And they have the very loud loudspeaker that says, "Don't stand in or block the driveway or face arrest." So I was not in the driveway. I was filming those in the driveway, figuring they were going to get arrested. And federal agents came up from behind me, pushed me into the driveway, and then proceeded to arrest me there at the ICE facility in Portland. Crazy stuff. I was literally just standing on a sidewalk with a camera. Now you guys can see me. But yeah, folks, it is definitely a lot of people here. Definitely a lot of people here. I know, like I said, I wanted to be walking around and getting conversation with people before this meeting started, but I think if I had not got in here a full half hour before the meeting started, I would not have been able to get in at all. So hopefully after the meeting, I can walk around and get some conversations with people and see how they feel. It is going to be rather late by the time this is over, so I don't know how many people are going to be hanging around till the end. But I look forward to chatting with anyone willing. Thank you very much. Yeah, just trying to shine a light and keep it warm, folks.
Any comments that you need on? Or do you have?
I think I have that information. I was just reminded of some really good points that, before we get into this meeting, we should go over just kind of the basis of what is happening at the airport. So I believe it's the end of the month, last month, that the Coast Guard helicopter that is usually patrolling and keeping people safe here on the Oregon coast was moved to Burns. It was moved to Coos Bay. Oh, I'm sorry. Being corrected here. I heard Burns earlier somewhere else, but I'm hearing Coos Bay from a very reliable source. So the helicopters moved to Coos Bay, and thank you for the clarifying information there. But again, the largest fishing fleet is here in Newport. With the weather turning and the crabbing season starting to get underway, I think it is just crazy that they would take that life-saving thing and take it somewhere else. On top of that, we do know, at least it is my understanding, that the city of Newport has been approached by a person representing the federal government to try to lease property, a little over 4 acres, I believe, over at the municipal airport here in Newport. I have heard stuff about them wanting to get permits to build a 12-foot high fence there. I've heard other rumors that there have been bids asked for what it would take to haul 5,000 to 10,000 gallons of sewage a day from the airport. So on that note, it doesn't sound like they are going to be, building proper infrastructure. They are going to be doing holding tanks that need to be emptied daily. That is not proper infrastructure. That is a slapstick project that is going to be subpar conditions for anyone forced to be there. At least that's the way it sounds to me. Let me know what you guys think. What time is it here? We still have about 10 minutes until this meeting gets started. Let me just ask a quick question here. Thank you for holding with me there, folks. So yeah, this is going to be a factual information meeting. Like I said, I am running off rumors and things I've read online mostly. Yes, there's been a lot of good articles, I think. Like I said, I'm mostly running on things I've read on the internet that are not confirmed. So I, along with all of you and everyone here, are going to be getting some facts tonight that we can actually run with. Definitely interesting times, and I never asked to live in interesting times. Joe, I think this room has got even more packed since I turned around. If that was possible. You must be talking about our chief of police, Mr. Malloy there. Someone's commenting about the tall lawman. Yep. I don't know. I'm very interested to hear all the public comments going on tonight. I don't know. We are at capacity. I'm not exactly sure. It is posted outside the chambers, but I know they were tallying people coming in here, and we are at capacity for this chambers. And again, this is only part of the people here. There are people lining the halls to view monitors that have been set up, and there are people outside that can't even make it inside. Some by choice. There are people outside protesting with signs right now, standing on the street and letting people know what's happening as best they can, and there's people that just couldn't make it in, I believe. Oh, looks like the council is coming out. Looks like we're about to get underway here, folks. Pardon? No, you're fine. You're fine. It's just going live.
Okay.
Lots and lots of folks here. Howdy, howdy. My pleasure for being here. One of the last things I want to see is a detention facility in my community. No worries, no worries. And yeah. And everyone, Miss Kira from Oregon Coast Breaking News, very big helper of my channel here, gives me a lot of good guidance and advice. We've been working together on a lot of stories out of Waldport. I am not sure who the reserved seating would be for, folks. That is a good question. Yes, there's lots of people here filming. Normally, people don't sit here for the council meetings, but with such packed and tight quarters today, I think that's just not the only option we have here. Lots of interest, lots of way bigger cameras than mine here from some big time news agencies here in the state. You're not wrong, you're not wrong. It's how you work it, right?
Oh, I gotta find something somewhere I can be stressed.
Here we have the council. I know the mayor has made several statements and comments to several news outlets over the last few days. Mm-hmm. You know, it might be a possibility that State Representative Mr. Gomberg is one of the seats that those are reserved for, or one of the people those seats are reserved for. I do not believe the mayor is in favor of this project, folks. Um, I've seen several news comments or comments he's made to news outlets. One of them being he can't tell you not to be scared because he himself is scared. So I would say the mayor is not in favor of this project out at the Newport Airport, which again is going to be a possibly a detention facility for immigration. And looks like we're coming right on 6 o'clock, folks. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Yeah, definitely a busy time here in Newport. Channel 12 right there. And looks like several big news agencies here, probably from out of town, covering this story. You know, I gotta say, folks, I am just a little nervous myself about all this going on. You know, after being illegally arrested, hurt, and put in jail for a night for standing on a sidewalk with a camera, I don't have faith that this agency is working in good faith or under the color of law. That agency being immigration. And here we go, folks.
Let's call the special meeting of the Newport City Council for November 20th, to order again and roll call, please. Try to get the volume up if we can. And then in charge of volume. Is that better? Everybody turn top loud. Outside voices.
We can have the next turn up. Just give us one minute.
Okay.
Try it now. Can you give me your turn?
Right now.
Testing. Can you hear me back?
A little bit more.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
That's what we got. That's our
That
max.
better? Keep going.
That's the best we got.
Okay, if I talk louder, is that better?
I think everyone's just going to have to be quiet in the audience.
Testing, hey, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, we're gonna do the best we can, folks. Okay, so we're to order. Ally, roll call, please.
Councilor Human,
Here.
Councilor Winifred. Here. Councilor Hickman.
Here.
Mayor Kaplan.
Here.
Councilor Hall. Here. Councilor Aparicio Reyes.
Here.
Councilor Jacoby. Here.
You, if you would all join us in the pledge of allegiance, please.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're here tonight for public comment. We have a few things to do before
Can you
that.
guys in my audience hear what's going on in the chambers?
We have our city manager, Nina Vetter, providing us with a statement, brief kind of statement of facts, what we actually do know. And Nina, go right ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Nina Vetter, City Manager. As the mayor stated, I'm just going to state several high-level facts and pieces of information that we know. Number one, at the Newport Municipal Airport, there is a piece of property that was deeded to the federal government in 1992. This piece of property is the location of the Newport Coast Guard Air Facility. Number two, the city of Newport has received confirmation that the rescue helicopter that has been stationed at the Newport Coast Guard Air Facility was relocated to the U.S. Coast Guard base in North Bend. The city has been unable to confirm if this move was intended to be temporary or permanent. Number three, the city was contacted by a third party named Team Housing Solutions, Inc. with a letter of intent to lease 4 acres of the city's property at the Newport Municipal Airport to, quote, support federal operations. The city received notice this afternoon that Team Housing Solutions, Inc. is withdrawing their letter of intent.
That feeling in the room, we're gonna try to keep the outbursts to a minimum, please.
Number 4, at this time, no proposal nor any communication has been sent or submitted to the city of Newport directly from the Department of Homeland Security. Lastly, City of Newport officials were made aware of information that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is in the process of evaluating locations along the Oregon coast for a potential U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement facility, and the Newport Municipal Airport has been identified as a possible location for this facility. Those conclude my facts for this evening.
Thank you, Nina. Before we begin, some comments on how things are gonna work tonight. As you know, we're a small city, trying to respond very quickly to what's brewing, and logistically, we're just doing the best we can. It's wonderful how many folks have come out. I know it's jammed out in the hall, the people are over in the rec center, people are at home watching. I'm appreciative of that, and we take that very seriously. So bear with us. Speaking for the city council, I know that we have a consensus. We're going to do everything we can to fight this. That's where we stand. But appreciate that. Anyway, we certainly appreciate, we've been hearing from many people, innumerable emails, calls, well, close to, I would say about 98% opposed to this happening. In order to listen to as many people as we can tonight, there'll be a time limit of 2 minutes for speakers. What we're going to do is we will always have, there's 2 seats in the front there that are reserved for the on-deck people, so that in order to get as many people in, we'll call ahead so that when your time is ready, you can just get right up. We will just be listening, and as is our practice. We listen. It will be after we take off public comment, sometime around 8 o'clock or so tonight, that the council members will also share their thoughts. But we don't get engaged in discussion. When you're called to speak, Please speak into the microphone, state your name and city or county of residence. If there's anyone who doesn't have the opportunity to speak, we will be accepting written comments into the record in English or Spanish for the next 24 hours. And there's a link on the county, on the city webpage. And public comments will be heard. The first 30 minutes, we will be taking comments from folks who are here. The next 30 minutes, we'll be taking comments from folks who are online. And then for the final hour, we'll be taking comments from folks who are here. I'd ask again that we're respectful. Disagreements are tolerated. This is Newport, where cooler heads prevail. We listen to each other with respect. And with that,
Mayor, can I just ask, I know there's a lot of passion in the room, and if you clap, it means less people will get to speak. So I would say, if you wanna like have some kind of visible, you can always do silent applause, but it will keep us moving.
yes.
But if you audibly clap, it's just gonna keep us delayed. I just wanna honor as many people as we can have speak tonight.
Okay, I'm going to call the first 3 people. Janie Cutsoff, right there, to the podium, please.
Here we can see even more
Brian
representatives of the
Fitzgerald,
news
please,
coming.
Don't get it right, give me a break. Newport Fishermen's Wives is signed up, so those, and where's, Janie, you come right up. We got 2 minutes, and if you don't have to use them.
Thank you very much.
Go.
First off, I would like to say that I vehemently oppose ICE of any kind being within our communities, on our streets, in our stores, being our neighbors. They are not who we represent as a county. So my question is, if they do come here, how is this going to impact our Latino and Mesoamerican communities and our county economically? The Latino population is the very fabric of our community. The Bayfront would not succeed without them. The hospitality industry would not succeed without them. Construction, landscaping, OCCC, our community college, could not succeed without them. They are the very fabric of our communities. We need to embrace them, we need to support them, and we need to do it now. I think that's all. Thank you very much.
I just reinforce, you can ask questions if you wish, but we will not respond to them until after, it's just our practice. And next up will be Sarah Yagi. Brian, yeah, you're up. Yeah. Come on, Danny.
I'm in Cloverdale, Oregon, okay? And I'm here on behalf of Pacific City and the Dory Fleet there too, or self-representing. But my understanding, I really wanted to talk about Coast Guard helicopters being moved to North End. It's at least 2 hours out to here, okay, by car. Astoria, which I understand is the other place for the helicopter, is 2 hours away from Pacific City as well. And so we're talking about an hour to an hour and a half for a helicopter to respond to emergencies on the coast. Okay, this is ridiculous when we have as many tourists, as many fishermen, and everybody else on the coast. I don't know whether the judgment or decision has been made can be reversed, but I think it's important for the safety of the community that you serve that we push back on this, okay, and get it moved back, okay, to this area. Okay. So, you know, I just pray for wisdom and discernment and just common sense for all of you, okay?
Hopefully that'll make
to push
the
back
audio
and to
a little
get
better
this.
for all my viewers.
Okay?
Thank you for your comments. And Levi, your case, I believe, would be in next on deck. Go ahead, please. You are?
Connie Dixon with Newport Fisherman's Wives.
Yes.
So, I'm here to, I guess, talk about what our group is going to do. And it's always going to fight for our fishing fleet. It's always going to fight for our community. I know that we work well with the city, with the county, with everybody we needed to work with. And being here 11 years ago in the almost exact same circumstances is especially hard for me. I'm the person that gets the calls. I'm the person that makes the calls to the families after there's a tragedy. There's a group of women behind me that pack up meals to the families. This hits us personally. Our families are out there, our loved ones are out there, communities out there. And we're not going to just sit idly by and allow this to happen. The last time we filed an injunction against the federal government, and everybody told us we were never going to accomplish anything with the federal government, that we still have our hero. Well, we did 2 days ago, I thought. I just got to say that the last time they told us they were pulling out, 15 days after we filed the injunction, a boat went down close to Depot Bay, a large, well-maintained boat with 5 lives on board, and they were all rescued barely by the helo. So this isn't just our opinions on things. This is life and death, and we're going to be here fighting for our community.
Thank you. Next up, is there Levi Yerkes here? Okay. We'll put you on deck and we'll take Eva Gonzalez and Mark Lull. If you're here, please come up to this front. Take it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Sarah Yagi, and I'm from Owens. And I'm here representing Conexión Phoenix, which is a nonprofit organization working down the Oregon coast to support the Latino families and the rest of the community here on the coast. I have a letter that I'm reading today from our organization. Conexión Phoenix is a nonprofit organization that was born as a result of the 2020 fires in Otis. And since its creation, Conexión has seen to the needs of the community who at that time were directly affected by this natural disaster. And now for our community across Lincoln County. And in our work, we have been involved directly with the community and with the mission to help guide and support them in various areas of need. We have learned a lot over the years, and here's one big take. This idea is that, is that what affects one person or one family has a ripple effect on the families and all of the community around them. And that is why we are here to raise our voices, to speak for those of us that are too afraid to be in this place and space, and to express our opposition to the federal government's idea of building or installing a detention center here in Newport. This news has had a negative impact on the families in our community, causing confusion and fear of the possible consequences if this were to happen. That is why we are asking the rest of the community to join us in finding a solution to this proposed problem. Let's imagine what would happen if this were to come true. Our families would only have 2 options. Option 1, to not go to work, not send their children to school, not take their children and their families to medical appointments, even when those are necessary, and to not go out to buy food or medicine. The second option, and this is the most difficult, It would be for families to have to leave the county. I urge you to remember that these families are a fundamental part of not only our community, but also our economy. We're talking about working families who have spent their lives working in tourism, restaurants, and hotels, and seafood packing companies and in construction. We have already seen enough violence and civil and constitutional rights, and too much pain and separation of families.
Eva, I'm gonna need to cut you on because we need other folks. I really appreciate that. Next in the on deck will be Julia, I believe that is. Lisa.
I'm Levi Yerkes. I've lived in Lincoln County almost my whole life. I'm a resident in Hope City now. I'm kind of representing kind of just the average face of the county. I work at City College. I worked in the maritime industry for 3 years. I'm a welder by trade. I have a lot of friends who own boats and operate boats. And I want to make a connection that nobody has made so far tonight. And how ridiculous I think it is that the lives of our fishermen have been tied into a battle with DHS and them operating an ice facility here in Lincoln County. I feel like that is an accurate representation of the lack of morals that DHS has in their operations when they, on a daily basis, violate the 1st, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th Amendments of the Constitution. And every operation we have. The fishers' wives do not deserve this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seems like the audience really
Sir,
felt that
and
statement.
Devin Bartlow is,
Hi, Mark Lowe, I'm from South Beach.
okay.
Thank you for taking time to hear us this evening. I served on a 350-foot ship in the United States Navy for 4.5 years. At one point in the Bay of Biscay, we took a 52-degree roll. For you lovers out there, the walls were more level than the floors. Now imagine if you're on one of our fishing boats out there and something like that comes along. That ocean can get up on its hind legs and it can smack you down. We need that helicopter here. If we don't get that helicopter here, lives will be lost. We have to have that helicopter here to help save the lives of our fishermen as well as our Coast Guard boat crewmen. They need that helicopter here. We have to get that helicopter back. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go next to Skip.
Honestly,
My name's Edward Gonzalez Munoz.
Oh,
So I'll
please go ahead and,
Yeah, it's Sarah Pat.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna read because obviously my emotions are crazy. Hello, my name is Edward Gonzalez Munoz. I have been a resident of Lincoln County for 33 years, over 35 years, and I am now a board president of the Lincoln. So let me read this. I am a proud daughter of immigrants and immigrant myself. I have been representing Citizens that the nonprofit organization for over 33 years. It truly saddens me that we are here today having to fight for our basic rights. The rights of the very people Lincoln County relies on. Immigrants are the backbone to our community. They are our workers, our bosses, our neighbors, and our family. I am asking for complete transparency in this process so that we can support our clients to do that work to best of our ability with dignity, compassion, and respect. We have, on a side note, we have also brought resources that will help the community. And thank you, and I know you guys will make the right choice.
Hi, my name is Devin Leffer. I don't have a very speech prepared or anything. I'm not really good at public speaking. I only joined Oregon as a citizen in 2023, but I've been vacationing here in Shiloh since.
Speak up.
I'm sorry, I'm also very introverted and nervous.
Take your time.
But I fled here in 2023 from Florida as a trans individual. And the overwhelming amount of support that I have met in this community in Lincoln County, I live in Newport City. And I don't know if you guys have any track through, there's a little wall that says diversity has dimensions to our room. And I cried when I first read that. Because where I used to live in Florida, that would really be over. And I see the community that we have here, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And as someone who grew up in an aggressive Christian nationalism and is addicted, I shudder to see that getting closer and closer to positions of authority. Oregon's done really well so far in keeping that away from its legislature. But the federal government overreach is getting very scary. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is still fighting and been fighting. Diversity doesn't have a mission to our world, and I hope that that is always at the forefront of everyone's mind. Please, thank you for fighting into all of our goodness this year. We can't lose it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and share this video.
And next up,
And please subscribe.
You go, no, you,
No, I'm
and
not
you,
here.
I know you, but you're here.
I'm here.
And I'm calling the people to speak after you. That would be Carrie Brandberg and Sharon Gridley.
Good evening. My name is Julie Alcovero. I've been around for years here in Newport County and Select and in Portland. And I'm having a hell of a loss. I didn't even know all this was going on until today. And I'm just saying, I'm taking care of the little folks that have come to, they're on the boats and they're needed, and it took forever eating them, especially in bad times. So please, let's do this. Also, I want to know, as homeowner, is this going to affect even more so the increase of our utilities, et cetera, with more people here? And that's all I have to say. So please, help us up. Where's the interest? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm doing my best here. Debbie, please, no, one of you.
Hi, my
I'm
name is.
giving over the list to CM because she's more organized than I am. Go ahead.
My name is Sharon Gidley, and I'm a 24-year resident of Newport and a restaurant server in this community. I was horrified to hear on Monday that this current evil and corrupt regime is possibly planning to build a ICE facility in Newport. I don't want ICE facilities in Oregon or anywhere for that matter, but certainly not here. This facility would negatively impact.
Hey folks, I'm going to turn off my secondary mic. Let me know if that helps.
Apparently, our Newport-based Coast Guard rescue helicopter has been moved to North Bend to make room for the building. Fishers, their families, and the whole fishing industry, from producers to processors, will suffer as they won't be able to find workers and crew. Captains and crew of marine and fishing vessels will be put at higher risk should they not be reached in time in the event of an emergency at sea. Surfers, like my 19-year-old daughter, will be put at greater risk as they participate in a sport that they love, which also has become hugely popular amongst visitors. My Hispanic friends and coworkers will stay home in fear of sending their children to school, to work, or simply to take a walk outside of their homes. Real estate values will drop as people choose not to move here, and other longtime residents, possibly myself, will choose to move. Tourism will suffer as visitors choose not to come to Newport because of the chaos and unrest that having an ICE facility and their employed thugs brings. Restaurants, hotels, and vacation rentals will suffer loss of business and possible closures when they can't find workers to fill necessary service positions. This facility, its workers, and the strain that they would place on our already fragile city and county infrastructures will negatively impact everyone who lives here. I am hopeful that all of you, city, county, and state elected officials, will do all that you can to combat this terrible plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Next would be Lydia Haight, and then on deck, Paul Hayter and Ken Sand.
Hi, my name is Carrie Grimberg. I'm a local business owner.
I'm a local fishing family, second generation member, and I'm also the treasurer of the Newport Fishermen's Wives. My family and my friends have been rescued with this helicopter. Sometimes it's only been their mom. The facts that got us the case, that won us the case against the federal government 11 years ago, was cold water survival. At this time, that has not changed. We were given a ruling that at any time to close any air facility, because we did not only keep ours open, we kept Charleston, South Carolina's open as well. It was in the same budget cut. And any air station is supposed to have community input like these meetings. It's supposed to have some science involved, which has to do with cold water rescue. That has not been presented to us. We have had 2 days to prepare. We had reporters call us. That's how we found out that this was even happening. After we had literally won against the federal government to keep this helicopter here, with an insurance that that could never happen again. A little bit of cold water information for everybody. Within 3 minutes, if you survive falling into the water, the helicopter hasn't moved you. You have 3 minutes that you can still use your extremities. After that, even in a life jacket, you have 25 minutes to have good chances of survival. That helicopter is 30 to 45 minutes away from us if they're sitting in it with the thing running in North Bend. The hour and a half it's going to take to come to us here, you're gone. You're on the rocks holding on because you're church, you got your class closed, you're gone. We aren't saying people might die, we're saying people will die. And we're sorry that we can't align ourselves with all the politicalness that's going on. Because of our nonprofit, we can't do that. But we're here to represent the Newport Fishermen, the mariners that go out of our port, and everyone that we have fought to be able to rescue for the last 11 years. We brought the helicopter here in the 80s because we needed it, because people were dying. It's gonna happen again. And we appreciate the city, we appreciate everyone who's here, and all of our representatives who have backed us and talked to us, because we're ready to fight again if we have to.
Thank you.
Lydia Hayter? Sorry, Lydia Hayter.
My name is Lydia Haight, soon to be Captain Haight, from Depot Bay. I am part of the Big Wave Water Safety on Oregon and California coast and the co-developer of our Oregon Safety Rescue Big Wave program. I am the wife of Captain Brad Haight, who has been a captain for over 30 years. We own and operate the vessel Mr. Max. Whatever the efforts are trying to be made in our country, let's not forego the bigger picture, which is protecting our citizens' lives and the workforce to do a very dangerous job. Taking away either station in Newport or Depot Bay or airspace would be detrimental to the safety of what we do, as well as the citizens. This will cost lives. Let me give you a little example that happened just last month. A mother was walking on the beach at Celeste Bay and got swept out by a surging wave. Within 6 minutes, 40-mile-an-hour winds and 20-foot seas, our local water rescue was out looking on jet skis. The 47 lifeboat was able to provide backup within 45 minutes. Hilo was able to provide assistance in an hour and 30 minutes, coming from North Bend. If Coast Guard had not arrived, the local rescue team would have had either resource to rescue themselves or had to call off the search. As it is, the Hilo 60 or 65 coming from Astoria or North Bend is doing usually a body recovery at that time, not a live recovery. A boat can go down in an hour or just minutes. As we know, proper rescue requires networking. Every proper rescue takes a team. And every SARS alarm, the Coast Guard lifeboat goes out, and this is so vital. Sometimes a boat is just in distress and needs to be towed. And this is where the 47 lifeboat is so solely vital. They have the equipment to put pumps out and to maneuver in rough seas and prevent further disasters to the boat, lives on that boat, and environmental disasters with fuel leaks and recovery costs. Taking away airspace or these facilities literally is a message from our government saying we do not care about our fishing community or the food they provide in the largest industry on the west coastline. Legal, hardworking lives will pay the ultimate price if this decision is made. And we are here requesting another facility to be strongly considered, if any at all.
Thank you.
Paul Hayter.
So we have some beautiful people here tonight, right? And even though we can't show our emotions, we should be able to till 10 o'clock or whatever. But, you know, I don't need to repeat this, but I will. Every Oregonian and every person in the United States, regardless of immigration status, has the full protection of the United States Constitution. Maybe some of us need to go back to school and realize that. And as far as my amigos and Latino community, we have to also realize that in San Diego, the ICE is already arresting old folks like me who were out there protesting with our phones, filming them, and a woman who was 71 years old spent, 8 or 9 hours in jail because she was doing her constitutional right to film them. So we have to understand that we have Representative David Goldberg there. We're talking about one helicopter. This is a banana republic. We need 6 helicopters on the coast of Oregon. This is absurd that we're fighting for one helicopter. ICE is completely funded with billions of dollars. And just think of the common sense here. Should we give money to ICE or should we give money for the protection of the rural communities? So Mr. Goldberg, hopefully, and Merkley and Mr. White can do a little bit more pickup here. This is vital, and I appreciate everybody's attention to this tonight, but ICE is already rounding up people in Salem, so let's just don't stick with Lincoln County. Our brothers and sisters throughout Oregon are already being picked up by ICE, and I would recommend you all get to some of those websites on what you should say and not say when you're picked up by not only ICE, but also police departments and sheriff departments that are working hand in hand with ICE. Thank you.
Up next is someone representing Ken Sand, and then Kelsey Ingles is on deck, and then we're transitioning to the Zoom folks. Someone speaking on behalf of Ken Sand? We see you speak a little closer to the microphone.
My name is Abril. My father was kidnapped on September 16th. I did not know what was going on until I was at school. No one knew where he was at. And I'm here to represent my family. No one deserves to go what I and my family is going through right now. And I'm begging you guys, please, don't. Please don't. No one deserves this. I'm here to represent everyone who's suffering. No one deserves this. I'm a teenager who goes through a lot of emotions. Everyone does, not just me. No one deserves to get picked up. My dad was my everything. He was here with me for the good, the bad, and the worst. He taught me everything. My dad, right now, is in Tacoma. He suffers through a lot of anxiety and depression. Due to his past in Mexico, when I was younger, I always saw him cry. I always saw him, and I never understood why until now. He's the only person who understands what I am going through. He's been there with me for everything. I'll never forget those memories, and I'm here asking, please.
You take as much time as you would like, Hillary.
Everyone. I'm not just talking about my dad. I'm talking about everyone. Everyone who's in there. Everyone who's getting picked up as we speak. Everyone who's suffering. My dad has always tried to be tough in front of me and my siblings, as we are still young and we're still underage. My mom has been through a lot these past weeks without my dad. He was always there for her for everything, for when her grandma died. And now, a few weeks ago, my grandma died, and he was in here to comfort her. I am suffering too.
was getting better at my mental health, but then they had to come and get him. And it just got wayward. And I'm here in behalf of everyone who's suffering and doesn't want to speak up. I'm asking you guys, please don't do this. No one deserves this. Everyone is going through a lot of trauma right now.
And I will repeat that this council will do everything that we can do in support and to fight this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how do you follow that? My name is Kelsey Ingalls. I live here in Newport. I am a ordained minister in the Presbyterian Church USA, and I am currently an educator. I work with children. I thank the council for your service to this community and the wisdom in your leadership. Your hands may be ultimately tied on this issue. You may not be able to stop this facility in the end from being built. But I implore you, you have to try with everything you have to not let this happen. Whatever you need from this community, just let us know. Expertise, votes, research. This community is behind you, trying to stop this facility from being built. Let us know how we can support you. In Europe, they all over say, never again. They say this after World War II and the horrible things that happened over there. By the year 1945, there were over 1,000 concentration camps in Europe. We've all heard of Warsaw and Auschwitz and other places where people were being detained. We don't remember these places because of their beauty and their culture. We remember them because of the horrible history that they hold. If the leaders and the communities knew what the future would look like, and they could do something to stop it from happening in their community, what would that look like? What do you think they would have done? Saying no to a detention facility might not change history. It seems ultimately we may not be able to stop these facilities from being built. But we can keep the history of our community on the caring, beautiful, welcoming, generous, and friendly side of history. Please fight this any way you can and rely on your community for support.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. Are we now moving to,
Yes, we're gonna move to some virtual comments. Our city recorder, Ally, is gonna call off individuals, so that is how we're going to proceed.
okay,
Can I just ask a clarifying question? Do you plan to spotlight the speaker
I don't
or
know,
pin them on Zoom?
we can see if IT has the ability to do that. I can't guarantee that, but we can try our best.
Great.
First up on Zoom is first name Amanda C.
I just wanted to be here to hear what everyone else had to say. I submitted my comment on publicly for support, so, you can want the next person.
Thank you. Next is Amaya Blanco Chapin.
Yeah, I'm not testifying, I'm just watching, but thank you.
Thank you. First name Amber. Ann Mack. Annette Tallbolt. Anthony Nava.
I submitted my comment online. Nobody's here to watch right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just ask a clarifying process question? Would it be easier if people raised their hands on Zoom that did plan to submit?
In fact, if they wanted to be on Zoom,
Testify.
doesn't mean they wanted to testify.
Please use the hand raise emoji if you would like to speak. iPhone, please state your name for the audio record.
I don't know if I'm on, am I on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name's Steve Rutherford. I'm a third generation Oregonian. And I find it that ICE is even in our state, but also that they want to come down and contaminate and terrorize people down on our coast. I support the other people that said that the fabric community is based upon people from many different cultures, many walks of life. Latinos are one of those major contributors to our culture and to our communities and to our workforce. Go to almost any restaurant and just think if they took all that. I'm not going to say they're illegal. They may be undocumented, but they're not illegal. And I think we need to support them. The community, as the other speaker said, we need to come together. And if this hearing has a single purpose, it should be to raise the alarm of everybody and encourage everybody to come together and support what we believe in, and that is that diversity makes us stronger, not weaker, and we need to support that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else online that would like to speak? Please use the hand raised emoji.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Paula, and I did get married over at the Newport, and I did submit my comment, but I just kind of want to say how proud I am of everybody, and especially the little girl who was very strong to speak. I am really just here to say that I'm here to support everybody every single way. I really hope they don't have this ICE facility. I bring my kids there to Moe's. I bring my family there, and now just hearing about this, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to bring my family without even thinking that they're gonna be torn apart or anything's gonna happen. I have a 4 and a 6-year-old and a husband who's from Mexico, and we can't even go crabbing anymore because we're constantly living in fear. And I live all the way in Salem, so I'm always in fear. Thank you for listening to me, and I really, really hope that we all do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Jay.
maybe ask to unmute. Ally, maybe ask to unmute or Jay.
Hi Jay, if you're trying to talk, we're not getting audio from our end.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you for your patience. I'm an 85-year-old ex-veteran, retired, moved here 13 years ago because I love the Pacific Northwest. And I find that I'm not allowed to enjoy my retirement life the way I'd like to because of the pressures of our government in our community. And so as old as I am, my wife and I get out. We demonstrate and hold our signs, no cane and hands off. And in this respect, it's in my backyard now. I badger my representatives, the health, all the time. I'm writing letters, I'm doing everything that I can to draw attention to this terrible administration, its hate and disregard for the norms that I've grown up with my whole life. I see these norms being crumbled and I'm angry and I want to support this effort that is happening tonight as best I can, and that's why I'm here. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Santiago Estrada.
You can talk too.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Santiago Estrada. I'm west of Washington County. I'm very happy to see a lot of people joining this. You know, this is the first time in my life that I joined a meeting for a council for a city. You know, and I pleasantly see how so many people participate in defense of, you know, what they are doing, taking the helicopter, but mainly because my people are suffering. And you don't want to be in my skin. You don't want to be on our skin. It is really sad. It is really sad to be amongst people that love what is going on and cannot even say anything because you consider them your friends, some of them your family. And they are so happy of what's going on, of all these other difficulties that many of my people are having. It's really terrible. How can you leave your home not knowing that you will come back? Even if you got documents, even if you're a citizen, this is horrible. It shouldn't be happening. None of our neighbors should be happy that this is going on. Somebody brought up, you know, what happened in the Second World War. It has been repeating through the years here in the United States, but only has been happening to the Latino community. So many people do not pay attention to what's going on. But now, hopefully, they will wake up. Now we not only have newspapers that can inform us of whatever we want to hear or what they want to write, but we got social media in our favor. And we got people that are listening.
I'm gonna need you to wrap up, please.
I just want to thank everyone for the support to the, you know, Latino community in the state of Oregon and the United States. That's it.
Next is Chad.
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm a resident of South Beach. I live very close to the airport. We used to hear the helicopter go over us daily when it would leave and come back, just on its routine flights. And for it not to be here is beyond appalling. need that helicopter to save the lives of our fishermen, of tourists who don't pay attention to the waves. We need our Coast Guard to be as strong and have all of the utilities it can have at a moment's notice. Bend is way too far away to even think that they would be that far away and flying to here. And the traffic, for them to try and get through that, it's beyond comprehension. We also can't imagine having ICE as our next door neighbor. That is unacceptable. No people in our community, unless you're First Nation, are actual citizens. We are all people of immigrants. So no person should be taken out of here and thrown into the concentration camp, period. I thank you guys. We support you. Anything you need, we will be there.
Next is owner.
Oh,
They can show everything.
yeah.
Whatever one change their state to it.
Owner. Owner, you are able to speak at this point if you'd like to use public comment.
Well, I guess that's me. My name is Dave Margolis. I live in owner. I just thought that was somebody's name. I live in Newport, and I missed the very, very beginning. I came into the meeting when I think I heard you say that the property at the airport was purchased from the federal government. If you said anything about who you're allowed to lease it to, I missed that. So what I want to say is, I don't trust the federal government, this federal government, to not continue pursuing these. Are there parameters as to who you are allowed to lease it to, and for what purpose? If you've got some leeway, is there a possibility, if and when the federal government comes back, we can lease it out from under them? I would see a private, one person or one entity that wants to lease it and use it for whatever. Or, and this is something I would participate in, what if many of us contributed on a monthly, ongoing basis to purchase a lease, just to say, preserve the property that can't be used by the federal government. So we would be using it from the state, basically. I don't know if that's around, but I'm a problem solver. Thank you.
Next is Chelsea Rose.
Hi, my name is Chelsea. I was born and raised in Newport, Oregon, and continue to reside here. As a lifelong resident, I like to express my strong opposition to the evaluation of Newport Coast Guard Air Facility as a possible site for an immigration and customs enforcement detention center. I urge city officials to continue united efforts to prevent any ICE presence in our community and to advocate for the return of the Coast Guard rescue helicopter to its rightful base in Newport. The twofold issue our community faces is primarily one of public safety and government transparency, affecting hardworking Newport residents across all industries, including hospitality, fishing, timber, etc. It is imperative that city officials and the community alike recognize the lack of transparency and disregard for the law demonstrated by the current federal government and act now to prevent wasteful detention efforts while ensuring that the critical resources remain in Newport where they are needed the most. Our community resources are already stretched thin and should be used to protect residents and support local needs, not facilitate the detention and terrorization of vulnerable populations. I hope that Newport, both its residents, community members, and commissioners can remain focused on both key priorities, keeping ICE out and restoring the Coast Guard helicopter. I urge the city to engage closely and consistently with the community to avoid surprises or confusion. That's the worst thing that could happen at this time. Thank you for your attention on this urgent matter, and I hope to continue to be involved. Thank you.
We're now going to move back to in-person comments.
We do have a couple of elected officials here who have come tonight and want to make sure we give them, so I'm gonna give you an extra minute because I know you would do the same for me.
Coming up next, we have State Representative David Gomper, and then Lincoln County Commissioner Walter Chuck will be on deck. And after that, we'll have Alex Lumakinga.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, for your record, I'm David Gomper, State Representative, and I want to begin tonight by thanking you and the city of Newport. I want to thank you for hosting this event tonight, but more importantly, for being honest with the people of Newport and telling people what you know, what you don't know, and what you think you know. Good government demands nothing less than that. So let me begin with what we know. We know that the Coast Guard rescue operation has left Newport, and we don't know if and when it may be coming back. This couldn't have happened at a worse time. With the weather changing, with the crabbing season beginning, we've fought this battle before, and we know that extended response times means that help may not arrive as soon as it's needed, and that lives may well be lost. And that's really, really wrong. Other things that we know: someone wants to lease space at the airport, put a 12-foot security fence around it for operation purposes on behalf of some unnamed federal department. Septic companies are being solicited for bidding to remove up to 10,000 gallons of human waste each day from the Newport Airport. We know that job postings have already been placed online for detention officers, for people that can drive buses, and for medical personnel, all of those new jobs to be created at the Newport Airport. And taken in total, what this suggests to us, of course, is that there is a plan somewhere to build a large-scale detention facility right here. And if that is indeed the case, then what that means is that someone somewhere believes that detaining lives is more important than saving lives here. Now, we know there's a variety of opinions about immigration issues in our community, but I hope that there is a unanimity of opinion that good government should tell us what's going on. And you have asked, and I have asked, the state of Oregon has asked, our federal delegation has asked, and nobody will tell us what the plan is, or if there is a plan. And because we don't have that clear, concrete information, we are denied the ability to decide our own destiny. And that is wrong as well. You know, I drove into Newport tonight, I passed a sign. I passed a sign that said, this is a Coast Guard town, and that we are the friendliest. And I believe that placing Oregon's only large-scale detention facility here is contrary to our values. It's incompatible with our economy. It goes against our long-term goals. And oh, by the way, I believe it's in conflict with both our zoning and the fact that the airport is just a few feet above the tsunami inundation line. Mr. Mayor, you know I believe that if the federal government wants to spend money here, they should help us build a new dam. They should help us build housing. They should help us fix our highways. This is not the investment we need or we want. I'm so pleased that so many people came out tonight, because that says to me that democracy is alive and well in Lincoln County. I wish it was as vibrant and engaged as other places. And I pledge to you and all of them that I'm going to continue to demand clear, honest information from our federal government so that the decisions about the future of Newport can be made by the people of Newport. Thank you.
Is Commissioner Chuck here? All right, Alex, and then on deck, Kathy Redwine and Joe Conchelos.
Good evening, buenas noches. My name is Alex Lumakinga Perez. I am here to speak to you tonight, not only as a community leader, and also as a neighbor, as a friend, as part of this community, as someone who deeply loves this place we all call home. Thank you for keeping us informed and supporting one another. Your care reminds me of the strength, compassion, and unity that defines our community. I speak tonight with sadness and concern. As someone from a persecuted minority, I feel the fear that so many in our community are experiencing. The thought that an ICE facility being built here in Newport is alarming and heartbreaking. This plan puts our community, our families, and our future at risk. It threatens our lives, safety, and dignity of our Latino neighbors, mothers, fathers, and young people who deserve to feel safe in our own homes. We cannot ignore the profound loss that will come if the knowledge, history, and wisdom of community members who have shaped Newport are being forcibly taken. Every story, every lesson, every contribution matters. If this knowledge is lost, we lose guidance, we lose inspiration, and the change to strengthen our community for the future. Newport has always been a place of hope, welcome, and unity for me. This plan threatens the spirit, but together we can stand strong. Today, I raise my voice to defend the community insurance. It remains a place of dignity and belonging for all. Thank you.
Thank you. You are representing a lot of folks who don't feel it's safe enough to be here, and appreciate that.
Commissioner Chuck.
So thank you for your time, Mayor and Council. I'm going to read our press release from the county, but before that, the last time I've seen this many people gathered was 11 years ago when they took the helicopter the first time. That was the fishermen's wives, the city, the port, and the county went to Eugene to testify in federal court to make sure that it stayed there. So I want to make sure that everybody realizes that take that helicopter away, people will show up. It is a matter of safety, not just to our fishing fleet, to our local community, and it also puts our first responders and beach rescuers at risk because they rely on the Coast Guard to help facilitate the rescues of people in distress on our beaches. Lake County Board of Commissioners is greatly concerned about reports to Coast Guard rescue helicopter station for decades. The Newport Airport has been relocated some 100 miles away. Newport hosts one of the largest crabbing fleets on the West Coast and the largest in Oregon. Dungeness crabbing is famously amongst the most dangerous occupations. News of the relocation of the helicopter comes at an especially critical time with the impending beginning of commercial crab season. I looked at the pickout numbers. It looks like they are incredible numbers for this time of year. I think we'll start on time, I hope. Every year, the helicopter conducts dozens of rescue operations returning in peril, boat crews and others to their homes and families. The helicopter is no less crucial now, and the community, again, is raising the alarm. Commissioners urge the Department of Homeland Security and the Coast Guard to return the helicopter where it will be best positioned to save the lives of our neighbors. Representative Robert and myself talked to the CEO. The only thing that he had to add is that he wanted to remind the community that his crew stationed here, their focus is search and rescue. They will remain search and rescue, and that when you see them around the community, that they are not just part of the community. Their children go to school in our schools, and their wives work with our wives and husbands. They're part of our community. They were part for many years, and just make sure that when you see them, you thank them and let them do their job. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Happy Red Wine and Joe Conchelos.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. My name is Joe Conchelos. I'm a resident of Newport. Friends, neighbors, and fellow defenders of the community, I'm here tonight because I refuse to stand by and let Newport become another outpost of fear. ICE is an agency built on intimidation and violence. It has no place in our town or in our future. We know what ICE brings: raids, cages, fear in the streets, and the criminalization of working people. Immigrant families are the backbone of our community. To target them is to target all of us. A prime example, sorry, I'm not really great at public speaking.
You do it fine.
A prime example of this is trading away our Coast Guard helicopter right before crab season. Let's be real, getting rid of a service that saves lives to make room for an agency that destroys them is a disgrace. At the end of the day, we don't need ICE in Newport. We protect each other. We take care of our own. Safety does not come from surveillance, over-policing, or deportation. It comes from solidarity. And that is why I stand shoulder to shoulder with every worker and every family who is looking for the best life by calling Newport home. In summation, we cannot let our community be turned into a staging ground for state violence. We must fight for our community and for our future. Every person deserves safety and dignity. Our town's motto is Newport, the friendliest, and it's about time we live up to it. So join me in saying no to ICE and no to fear, not Newport, not anywhere. Thank you, guys.
Red line is up, and then on deck, Jonathan Brohan and Kate Sinkins. Please come up to sit so that you're ready and to be on deck. We want to get through as many as we can, and we are wrapping this at 8, so please be ready to be at the mic.
Go.
Good evening, all of you. My name is Kathy Redline. I'm here with Newport Oregon Pride, but more importantly today as a heartbroken and concerned citizen of this community. I'm here tonight to voice my very strong opposition to the establishment of an ICE facility at our Newport Airport. As all of you know, immigrants are the backbone of our economy and an essential part of our community. They work alongside us, support local businesses, own local businesses, pay taxes, send their children to public schools, play on your teams, join in your worship, are your friends, etc. And with the exception of Native Americans, every one of us come from somewhere else and are an immigrant. ICE detention facilities, which are concentration camps under this cruel administration, brings fear and division to every community that they're in. Across the country, and LA and Chicago, and Portland and Eugene in our own state, ICE operations have led to civil rights violations, the detention of people with valid documentation or pending asylum claims, people disappearing, protesters being attacked, air quality issues, as well as physical, mental, and emotional issues due to the highly questionable legality and morality of firing tear gas at community members. The list goes on and on. When did we decide that we are okay targeting and torturing minorities again? The consequences of an ICE facility here would reach every corner of our town. Families would live in fear, school attendance would decline, especially among Latinx students who make up more than a third of Lincoln County schools. Local businesses and commerce would suffer as workers and owners stay home. The list goes on and on. This is about more than a facility, it's about our identity. Newport takes care of its own, whether during storms, fishing accidents, wildfires, pandemics, and many more times. Let us show that same courage and compassion now. Let us protect all who call Newport home, not just those of us who are white. Another aspect of this is how can we get our Coast Guard helicopter back full time? We heard it got moved and will be used locally only a couple scheduled days a week. Newport has the state's largest commercial fishing fleet. What does that look like? Do we hope that our silly tourists and brave fishermen don't get swept up or wreck on the days the Coast Guard isn't here? The trouble and tragedy that this decision brings is monumental and far-reaching, and it can't be undone. What do we do now? How can we stop this? And if it is a done deal already, what do we do next? How can we make it our laws more just? Please tell us how and now. Mayor Kaplan, City Council, thank you for being kind and amazing humans, for trying to get ahead of this, and for hearing our voices tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for having me tonight. My name is Jonathan Brohan, or as my friends call me, Sign. I wrote this before hearing that you guys are working to oppose this, so I thank you for that. I'm a resident of Toledo, and for the past 5 years, I've worked here in 9 Beach serving food, probably to many of you over the years. So even though I live next door, I deeply care about what happens here in Newport. I'm here because I've heard that immigration enforcement may soon operate out of here, and I want our mayor or city council and police leadership to let us know what your intentions are regarding cooperation with them.
The Constitution guarantees due process of law to every person, not just citizens. The moment we allow that promise to be broken for one group, it can be broken for any of us. If our city allows people to be detained and shipped away before fair trials or convictions, we are participating in the erosion of due process itself, and in practice, that's human trafficking under another name. Because the law and due process are what separates a prison from a trafficking ring. Without them, there's no justice, only force. And it doesn't stop there. The Fourth Amendment protects every person from unlawful detention, and the 10th reserves powers to the people and our local governments. The federal agencies can use our town with our consent to seize and transport people who've had no fair trial. That's not cooperation, that's occupation. It's a direct violation of the principles this country was founded on. The powers being used to justify these actions include the Alien Enemies Act. We're never meant to militarize American towns or target our neighbors based on fear. And I have to ask, has anyone here actually seen this so-called invading army of Latinos we're told to fear? Because what I see are families, workers, and community members, not enemies of the state. Using fear to justify unconstitutional operations is not patriotism, it's propaganda. True patriotism is defending our neighbors, our Constitution, and the rule of law. I urge Newport's leaders to take a public stand, refuse cooperation with unlawful operations, protect your residents, and protect due process. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For those of you who may have not heard the message earlier, I'm asking you to not give audible applause because it is stalling us, and we want to hear from as many people as possible. Visible applause, totally cool. On deck, Kate Simpkins, that might be you, then AJ, then Pamela Weiner, and those are the next folks. Go ahead.
Thank you for having this forum tonight and for letting us all express our opinions. My name is Kate Simpkins, and I am the only immigration attorney on the coast. There are no immigration attorneys between Lincoln City and Astoria or between Lincoln City and Coos Bay. I have given 17 Know Your Rights presentations to educate anyone in our community who wants to learn about the rights everyone living in the United States has. It is important for me to say this because many people in our community are scared. And many people in this room have never been inside an ICE detention center, but I have. I have been inside more than 10 such detention facilities. Universally, they are terribly run. Showers are not offered on a daily basis. Access to legal counsel is limited based on the mood of the detention officer in charge. My lens is also as a volunteer on a whale watching boat and a resident of Depot Bay. I often hear and see the Coast Guard helo go out to rescue boats, surfers, and teenagers who do not respect the ocean. I am a former federal employee who has worked at the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, the Department of Justice, the Executive Office for Immigration Review, and the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Refugee Resettlement. I respect the Coast Guard, and I know that their search and rescue capabilities save lives. A person who falls in the water will succumb to hypothermia long before the Coast Guard helo in North Bend can arrive. Our fishing fleet is a major driver of the coast economy, and just one reason people come to the coast. They come to the coast to enjoy the ocean, to see our gray whales, to eat fresh seafood, and to stay in our hotels and eat in our restaurants. I ask you to think carefully about all the decisions you're going to be asked to make in the next months, and I encourage you to have more forums like this because we need to talk to our elected officials. Thank you.
Thank you.
AJ, and then Pamela Weiner, and then Laura Ramsey.
Good evening, council, and everyone watching at home and here in the audience. I'm AJ, the Global Cause, please find me on YouTube. We as a country and a community must confront this agency's operational practices, which often clash violently with fundamental American values. I have personally experienced this overreach. I was arrested by ICE agents solely for standing on a public sidewalk with a camera exercising my constitutional right to observe and document public activities. When an agency operates with such disregard for civil liberties and the Bill of Rights, arresting citizens engaged in protected speech in public spaces, its presence fundamentally contradicts the principle of liberty and justice that our nation and our town hold dear.
I am here tonight to state clearly and unequivocally, ICE does not belong in our community. The proposal for a detention center at the airport location is fundamentally incompatible with our community's standards and our infrastructure realities. We hold private citizens in this community to rigorous standards. A neighbor of mine waited for over a year for the city planner to issue permits to renovate a wood building and add affordable housing to our neighborhood. This demonstrates the careful scrutiny our city demands for development. Our local ordinances specifically prohibit the construction of razor wire, barbed wire, or electrical fences. A detention facility by its very nature requires these features and is therefore absolutely outside the scope of our existing zoning laws. Every courtesy and all regulations extended to private parties to procure building permits must be strictly enforced for any other agency, I would hope, especially one proposing a facility that clashes so dramatically with our civic code. Furthermore, we must consider the immense infrastructure burden our city and state face significant challenges with, including the need for federal funds to replace the earthen dam, which provides our drinking water, improve our highways, and then as well as maintain our state parks. The airport location as it stands can in no way support the significant water usage, road commands, or other infrastructure needs that this project would require without substantial guaranteed federal investment that is currently not allocated. This project is wrong and goes against our community standards. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on up. Just keep on coming up. Whoever's next. Pamela and then Laura.
Hello, my name is Pamela Wiener. I thank you, Mayor and Council, for convening us all here today, for telling us the truth as you've been given it, and for trying to do what's right by the citizens of Newport and us here on the Oregon coast. I'm reminded at this time when we see dehumanization of our brothers and sisters in the most vulnerable of our communities, of the wise words of a Lutheran minister during Nazi Germany. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. I think many of us here are here for those who are too afraid to come out of the shadows, too afraid of what these ICE people will do. And I would like to end with the words of my hero, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who spoke, "I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." And I say today that the content of the character of the Trump administration stinks. And I ask you to stand up to them. Stand up to them, and let's all say no to ICE. No ICE. No ICE. No ICE. No ICE. No ICE.
All right. Laura Ramsey, and then Micah Contreras. Is Laura in the building? Is Micah in the building? All right, come on up. And then next is Scarlett Kier.
Good evening. My name is Mika Contreras, and I'm the executive director of the Index and Working Health Equity Alliance, where we work to make sure everyone has a chance to be healthy. But tonight I'm here not in that capacity, but as a human, neighbor, friend, community member, proud daughter of immigrants and granddaughter of immigrants, because I'm deeply concerned about reports that ICE may be planning a detention or enforcement facility. Let me be clear, a facility like that would devastate families. It would amplify and spread the fear that's already felt among our immigrant community, and these are the very people who keep our cultural industries alive. When families live in fear, it doesn't just affect them, it affects all of us. Kids go to school anxious or not at all. Parents are afraid to go to work, get groceries, or go to the doctor and get essential medical care. And when people are afraid, our whole community suffers. Our health, our economy, and our sense of safety. And on top of that, the fact that the proposed site permanently displaces essential Coast Guard operations, putting rescue readiness and lives at risk, shows exactly how dehumanizing one group dehumanizes all of us. We're all linked together in our fates, and until all of us are free, none of us are free. Oregon was the first sanctuary state in the nation, and we've always chosen compassion, community over punishment and fear. So tonight, since I hear your unified opposition to this, I want to thank you all for standing with the people who make our coastal communities strong. And I just want to reiterate that that is why there is no place for ICE on the Oregon coast or anywhere else in the state. Thank you.
And Scarlett, you're up, and then Stacy Zitnick and Lori Porter will be on deck.
I want to state very clearly that I'm totally against ICE in our community, and a lot of the reasons have been clearly stated. This was Newport in 2014. Okay, we fought this battle, we won this battle, and we need that Coast Guard. We need the Coast Guard for our community members. We need our community members come in all colors. And in 2014, in the paper, I'm looking at a quote from a Rear Admiral Bromwich that quoted in the News Times, "I will tell you that we have a process we follow in dealing with our state and our local citizens. That process was broken down in 2014. It seems like that process is broken down again. And as much as we love the Coast Guard, we all need to be honest with each other. We need that helicopter here, and we need all of our people safe. And it doesn't matter what color they are. I think it is important to take into consideration septic systems up there. Our community cannot handle that septic up there, and it's inhumane. Let's be very clear. If this happens, those are community members, those are people that have families and children, and they need to be treated humanely. I think ICE in our community could stress our police force. We have a good police force that is respected. It's going to cause a tremendous amount of problem for our police to have ICE. When I'm on my way up here and I'm listening to the news about a 14-year-old child in Chicago that was zip tied, I don't ever want to see that. In a community that I've lived in for 40 years, we are all in this together. I thank you for your time, and please fight like hell.
Stacy, you're up, and then Lori Porter, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Zitnick. I'm a resident of Depot Bay, and I want to thank you for holding this informational meeting and the work that you do. I want to go on the record as saying that we need a Coast Guard helicopter back, and no to ICE. Thank you very much.
You see, my favorite one. Just in terms of lengths, just kidding. Lori, you're next.
Anybody beat that?
And after Lori, Jamie Neal.
Good afternoon, Lori Porter, Newport, Oregon. I vehemently oppose ICE detention center in Newport. As others have said, first they come for us, then they come for you. First they come for you, then they come for me. We're all interrelated. There's something that the regime will decide they don't like about you. So I'm indigenous, and we've heard that ICE has mistaken people. They'll just drive people out of their cars. If you are the wrong color, if you look wrong, you're in the wrong place. People have their papers. People are legal. People are citizens. Yet they're being dragged away. It's beyond. It's beyond. We're not going to accept this in our community. Our community will stand up. We'll be at the airport. We'll be wherever they decide they think they're going to put this facility. It's not going to happen. I guarantee you. Is anyone going to let it happen? No. No, it's not going to happen here. So we're here. Not going With that, she's safe waiting.
Jamie Neal and then Karen Brady. I'm not sure if I'm seeing your last name correctly.
Hi, my name is Jamie Neal. I'm a resident here of Newport, Oregon. And I am here tonight because Newport deserves a future rooted in compassion, safety, and justice. The possibility of a proposed ICE detention center is not an investment in this community. It is a threat to our values. It is a threat to our safety. So let's be very clear. ICE detention centers are not just facilities. They are places where fathers, mothers, workers, and children are kidnapped and they are torn from their homes, their jobs, and their communities. And this isn't speculation. The Department of Homeland Security own reports document abuse, overcrowding, medical neglect, and sexual assault, and also deaths inside those detention centers. We have been told this project could bring jobs, but at what cost? And let's be very clear, a detention center will not make Newport safer, not at all, and you guys all know that. ICE detention is not about, ICE is not about public safety, it is a business built on fear and detention quotas and human suffering. So tonight I ask our council, all of you, choose our children's future, choose compassion over cruelty, because this community deserves better, and we will continue to stand up, we will continue to speak out, we will continue to fight, and we will continue to protect the soul of this town. Thank you very much.
Karen, and then Bob Kemp, and then Robert Heater.
My name is Karen Brady. Yep, thank you, Dr. Thomas Gray. I am a scientist by training. I have built my life on trying to see things rationally and with fact. I also have values and beliefs, but I try and live with fact first. I do believe in the principle that you are innocent until proven guilty. I believe in the principle of education first and punishment as a last resort, if it's very much needed. We live in a community that takes great pride in educating first and assuming the best of others in our community. ICE has demonstrated that they punish first, and maybe we'll get around to asking some questions later, but maybe they'll just send you to another country instead. That's not acceptable. That is not the American way. I own that flag. That flag is my flag. No party owns that flag. I wear this color, even though this color represents other things now, because I like the color red. All right, that's the only reason. I want to say two things to try and stick with facts after I do say I'm an immigrant. My relatives died in concentration camps in Germany. The only reason I'm here is because my grandmother fled and successfully came to safety in the United States. That's the only reason I exist on this planet. The first thing that I want to say that's a fact is we don't have evidence that there's a need for an immigration facility here. The second is we have a lot of evidence that we need a helicopter here. I urge you to continue the fight you started to save this community, save Oregon, and save the United States by providing a model. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, and then Robert, and on deck Cassiopeia. Deal? All right, I'm not seeing folks, I'm gonna keep calling because we want to get as many people till 8 as we can, so we need you to be ready to go. Robert, great. Okay, Bob, and then Robert, and you can come and sit in these two chairs, we're ready for you. And then keep coming, Ron Harmon and Mark Watkins. Keep going, go for it.
Okay, my name is Robert Heater. I graduated high school here. I went in the Navy, and I own a business here. This is not about stopping crime. We all know this. It's about stripping the dignity from the word immigrant. We all know them. They're our neighbors, they're our friends, they're our coworkers. Immigrants are the heart and soul of this country. Now, the financial toll that we are talking about, you can hear it all over social media. We all have it. Every news station is telling you, people are writing in, nobody's coming to Newport. They are not going to spend their money here. And that is a terrifying thing since we are a tourism-built community. It's only been a few days, and so far, thousands of people have said that they aren't going to come to this community if that ICE detention center is built. And it doesn't even matter if it's an ICE detention center. If it's just an ICE center, they don't have to detain people there because they can build that. They can send them anywhere. There's an airport right there. Let's talk about the life toll. Under the radar, our rescue helicopter is just snatched from us. Nobody knows. 95% of this community does not know that helicopter was gone. We heard that it's going to take an hour and a half to get here. How long do you think the person survives in that degree of water? Not an hour and a half. We have the largest fishing fleet in the state of Oregon, and they move it to North Bend a month before they tell us that they're going to build a facility here to detain immigrants, not illegal immigrants, immigrants, because we are all illegal immigrants, every single one of us. Yes, thank you. We're a community built on so many things. Racism is not one of them, even though there are a lot in our community. You can see them on all social media. You can see them on our feeds. You know who they are. We live with them. And we need to stop them. And by the way, $40 billion would buy 6,130 rescue helicopters. Thank you.
All right, I've not seen Bob, I'm not seeing Cassiopeia Beal, last call for Rhonda Harmon. Moving on to Mark Watkins. Again, please come up and sit in the chairs when you're ready to go. We are short on time and have a lot of people that we want to hear from. Veronica Martinez. Okay, keep continuing on. Dar Wilder, I'm not, yay!
Hi,
Please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Veronica Martinez, and I'm a proud Mexican American. I'm a resident of Newport, and I am here today to speak on behalf of students at a religious community that were afraid to be here today. They live in fear. These are admirable students that are just so fearful, and my heart goes out to them because they're really great people. I also want to just make it clear that Mexicans were native. Okay, the history shows that, and it's wrong what we're doing. And yes, the Coast Guard is needed here, and we all know that Newport would lose a lot of business if an ICE facility was built here. People will not want to come here to visit. Families will live in fear, and the community will be broken. We will be broken as a community if this happens. So I trust you guys to do the right thing and to fight on our behalf. Thank you, and appreciate it.
Thank you. If your name was called and you're in one of the positions to speak, you're welcome to come forward. If not, I'm going on. Dar, I don't know what your last name is. I can't read your handwriting. I'm sorry. Audrey Lee. Jazz, again, I'm sorry, your last name, I cannot make out what it is. Deborah Hollis. Okay. All right. Okay. Hi.
Well, the feds target us.
Sorry, can you introduce yourself?
Deborah Hollis from Depot Bay. While the feds target us to instill fear and knowingly and deliberately destroy our fishing fleet, our tourism industry, and our local businesses, all of which rely on seasonal help that often comes in the forms of people that match their targeted criteria to harass and kidnap off the streets, we need to block this immediately. From the beginning, this federal government has specifically and repeatedly made it clear that they are only representing and supporting people that voted for Trump. Anyone that did not is subject to whatever wrath they care to rain down upon them.
No one has any rights at all anymore. This is not only unconstitutional, but un-American. It flies in the face of every decency we as Americans have grown up with and fought to secure. The monsters in charge have gone so far as to label anti-fascist with the shorter term Antifa and try to smear that label as evil. All they've done is show us that what our parents, our grandparents, and great-grandparents fought for in every war in this country is once again raising its ugly, racist, sexist, fascist, oligarchist, nepotistic, dangerously destructive, corrupt head, and has now turned its vicious eye like Sauron to the good folks of the West. It's time for everyone in Lincoln County, no matter how you voted or what you used to think of this administration, to gather together to protect our livelihoods, our homes, our fishing fleet, our hospitality industry, our tourism rentals, our helicopters, our schools, our hotels, our motels, our men, our women, our children from the inevitable kidnappings on the streets without identification, warrant or reason, dragging people away from their children, their parents, their husbands, their wives, out of moving cars, out of churches, out of businesses, out of schools, out of their homes. We have to make this stop right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna do a last call on the folks on the sheet. Bob Kemp, Cassie Pia, Rhonda, Mark Watkins, Dar. Okay, are you one of those people? Will you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Cassiopeia Beal. I grew up in Newport, Oregon, here obviously. You'll have to forgive me, I did not prepare anything, but it seems that this is new information to our city that we have found out just a few days ago. And I think that sends a precedence from the federal government that this is something that they feel like they should hide from us. This is not about control. This is not about immigration. This is about control. This is an important time for our community to come together. We are the first line of defense against the federal government and what we think is right in this nation. Newport is a small town, but it is the first major port north of California. And I think we, as a community, should stand against this detention center in our community. Thank you.
All right, continuing on, last call on Dar, Audrey, Jazz, Katie, Sampson, oh, hello.
Hi, my name is Audrey. I'm not
Great.
sure.
Yes, Audrey.
There you are. Hi, my name is Audrey. I wrote this really fast in the car, so forgive me for not making eye contact. This is a horrible first impression. Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak. My name is Audrey. I'm a full-time nomad now, but my field is public safety. My focus is death investigation and violent crime. 6 weeks ago, I came to Portland for what I thought would be a short visit. I document what was taking place outside of the ICE facility, and I support that community. I expected to witness protests. I didn't expect to witness trauma. In this 6 weeks, I've seen families torn apart, chemical weapons used on passive community members, and people banging on bus windows as they are ripped from their communities. 48 hours ago, I heard that Newport is being considered for an ICE facility. And I need to tell you what that really means. ICE facilities do not bring safety, they bring trauma. They don't prevent crime, they attract it. They don't strengthen communities, they divide and they destabilize them. In Portland, people who had never attended a protest found themselves facing federal agents with chemical weapons, armed counter-protesters drawn to chaos. The violence doesn't stay behind that fence. It radiates outwards. Families withdraw, communities fracture. This is violence disguised as order. Newport calls itself the friendliest coastal city, and it is. But if ICE is welcomed here, that identity will not survive. This town will never recover. Beyond the human toll, consider the economic and environmental impact. Chemical agents entering waterways, strain on emergency services, tourism loss. You have the power right now to say, not in Newport, not to our families, not to our community. Protect what makes this place special. Don't let federal overreach and private prison interests define your future. Please choose your people over this agenda.
Come forward. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my alias is Jazz Kabrinsky. I am not a resident of Newport, but I do visit the town fairly regularly. I am excited to have heard a lot of the testimony that I've heard today, that people have shown up in such numbers to show their opposition to ICE having a facility here. I have been to the Portland facility, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, it is a biohazard around there. The amount of tear gas that they use has made that particular very small section of Portland uninhabitable, almost. It will damage the community. And not to mention, I have heard innumerable people talk about the economic the economic impact of having an ICE facility here and easy access that would give people to the dock workers who may or may not be properly documented because of how our economy works. It's a natural byproduct that things are set up the way they are. We need to support people instead of the I'm sorry, my prepared statement went out the window when everyone else said my points. We need to support the people in communities like this all up and down the coast because it will cause irreparable damage. Okay, I appreciate your time and y'all have a good night.
And next, folks, Katie Sampson Cruz, last call, Christy Stringer. Great, please introduce yourself.
My English name is Kathy Sampson Cruzy. My Wampum name is Old Whale Sucks. I'm a federally enrolled, recognized tribal member from the Umatilla tribes, the Walla and Cayuse. I'm happy to know that I have lived here in Oregon all my life. My father was Pio Mox Mox. He was the chief of our small tribe, the Wallas. And we have always loved the Oregon coast because it was always the homeland of the people. And one of the things that I want to point out to all the folks that are here, you are all treaty people. Remember that. We are all treaty people. And we need to respect those treaties. And one of those treaties with the federal government is to do right. This card is a tribal enrollment card. When people were not understanding everything in the project and hadn't read it all and they didn't think it was going to be real, it is real. Tribes across the country, over 500 are now saying, and Canada, are saying, go and get your tribal enrollment card because you're brown. And you may get picked up, and they have. This card, a long time ago, used to get us off the reservation. It was the only way that we could go from our reservation into the city of Pendleton or the surrounding areas. And now, maybe it will protect us, maybe it won't. I have a granddaughter. Her grandparents live down south of the border. She was gonna go visit, which she always has. And I told my son, make sure she has all her tribal ID, because you never know what could happen. For those folks that don't know about Amanda's Trail, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the tribal people of the Sluts and the Brown Ron, y'all need to probably go walk that trail and understand that there was a treaty way before, a trail of tears way before this happened. The Coast Guard flies above us constantly. I see children wave at them. It's an honor to have them in this community. My husband was on medevacs in the Yukon, Kuskokwim areas of Alaska. I know hypothermia. I worked in a hospital there. Don't let it happen here. Don't let it happen. Be strong. People, cldc.org, if you don't know it, cldc.org, where's that attorney lady? Y'all need to look up cldc.org. I happen to be volunteer with that organization out of Eugene. You ready? Because you're gonna need to stand strong. This is not over. And network with other cities and tribal communities, because it's gonna keep coming. We got 3 years. We gotta hold that.
Thank you so much.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, City Council, I'm Christy Schimmer. I am at the bottom of the list, so you got to hear a lot of really great points, and I agree. And I want to today talk as a first generation Newport citizen and daughter of immigrants. I watched a lot of young faces today outside protesting and in the building, and it was a little traumatic because it reminded me of growing up the child of an immigrant. But it was also, it made me focus on the fact that representation matters. And I heard a lot of people talk about our parents who work in hotels and restaurants and our laborers, and yes, that's us, that's our roots. But because of their hard work, we are city council members, nurses, doctors, teachers, officers. We serve this country as well. So our laborers are not the only ones under attack. It's what our families sacrifice their lives for, and we have built this community as well. So I just wanted to take the focus away from the laborer part because their sacrifices have put us here. Thank you so much.
All right, on deck, the next people to come up, I'm gonna call a couple at a time. Catherine Roller, Kit Fox, David Norman, Mark Marks. Please come up, please be on deck, please sit in that chair. We have a limited amount of time left. We want to hear from as many as possible. All right, I'm not seeing folks come forward, so I'm gonna keep calling. Okay, Greg, come on up. Thanks.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Mark Marks. I am a long-term resident of Newport, I'm a wildlife biologist, and I would like to read a statement for the record. And this is to the City Council. I'm a former United States Army combat veteran, a proud resident, and longtime homeowner in Newport, Oregon. I cherish our town and its people. We, the people of Newport, value the diversity of our community and the freedoms of our friendships and solidarity that have created this town's uniqueness. I write today to voice mine and my family's vehement opposition to any plan by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, private contractors and/or other entities to build, maintain, support, or run any form of detention facility anywhere in Newport. We, the people of Newport, also oppose any plans to use the Newport Municipal Airport to transport any detained person from the Oregon coast. I personally demand as a taxpayer that our representatives of the city of Newport do everything in their power to prevent detention, transportation, or support of these operations from occurring in our community, and call upon the elected leaders at all levels to work together to keep these forces out of our city, county, state, and tribal lands. I respectfully demand that the city of Newport make public the terms of its leases and relationships with the U.S. federal government to ensure transparency in what is or is not currently legally permissible on our city-owned property. Also, I'd like to ask that the terms of any lease, contract, or other binding document in the relationship be amended to ensure that the detention facilities are kept out of our community. Okay. Well, there was more, but what I will say is it is our duty as citizens to stand up, be willing to dissent, and civil disobedience. And I, for one, have bled for this country as a soldier. I am disgusted by this government and the people that are supporting it. And I, for one, if I were to encounter a masked law enforcement with no identifying detail, I will stand up with my body for who is being prosecuted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Kip Fox. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening, members of the council. My husband and I are property owners and residents in South Beach since 2020. I'm also an appointed planning commissioner for Lincoln County, although I'm appearing before you this evening as a private citizen. In my former career in land use and city planning and city administration, I have had direct professional experience working with business entities that are associated with the current Trump administration. I can assure you that, perhaps unsurprisingly, the Trump administration cannot be trusted to abide by any land use lease terms or conditions of approval that the council might consider imposing on the use of the Newport Airport property as an ICE detention center. Once the Trump administration has physical possession of the property, they will do whatever they want. I would also implore the city council to resist the urge to grant any lease or any land use entitlements predicated upon the promised return of the Coast Guard helicopter from North Bend. This is not a zero-sum game. Please do not succumb to such blackmail from the Trump administration. Thank you.
All right, Andrew, please come up. It sounds like your name was called, but I don't know who you are. Please introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catherine Roller. I'm a retired high school teacher. I chose to move to Newport in 2019 to live out my retirement years in our community. I previously lived in a small community that was impacted when the military base was closed in 1992. As a result of available federal property, multiple prisons, federal, state, and county were built in the community, resulting in significant impacts to our resources. Our hospital was impacted with increased demands for medical care. Fire department services were stretched thin. Impacts to our water supply and sewage treatment systems were overwhelmed. Property values were negatively impacted. The impact to our community was totally negative. Do not let this happen to Newport. We cannot have an ICE detention facility in Lincoln County, and we need to bring back the helo now. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then calling one more time, David Norman, and then also on deck, Pat Rodriguez and Eileen Samowitz, if you're here. Okay, and then please hold, I need to check this name. Oh, this is gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna go with Willie T, because that I can read. Okay, this other one I'm gonna try and read. Kellyanne, is there a Kellyanne? Is there a Kellyanne from South Beach?
Hello, folks. Thank you, esteemed members, for hosting this beautiful community meeting, and thank you all of the community for showing up in full force today. My name is Willie T. I'm a Newport resident. This is the first place I've ever called home, and I love it. And the idea of a concentration camp coming here, it just infuriates me. Now, let's not kid ourselves. That's what this is. It is a concentration camp. It is to detain people morally, and it's just morally wrong. It lacks due process. It detains not only people that they deem illegal or criminals, it detains regular citizens who are standing up for one another. These violations of search and seizure law violates multiple of our Bill of Rights. ICE is violating 9 out of 10 of the First Amendments of our Bill of Rights. Our community is strong and it's beautiful. And the people in our community, do we want to invite the possibility of a veteran being arrested for a plant that's legal in our state just because he's an immigrant who served our country? Do we want to see 1-year-old children being pepper sprayed in their cars because they were on the wrong street at the wrong time? Do we want our school teachers and our children in our schools to be traumatized with police showing up, ICE police showing up and knocking windows out in front of our children. We do not need this. We do not want this. This is also financially unstable. Let's talk numbers. A lot of good people have been talking about this. The strain on resources, the strain on our police. I mean, you guys probably got a lot of overtime going on right now, right? This will cost us. It will not only cost us our love, it will cost us our freedom. If our leaders cannot lead our community, we will unite and lead us. Every citizen deserves a right to life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness.
Thank you. Unless there's someone else who has signed up who we've called, yes, sir.
My name is David Norman. I've lived here for 22 years in South Beach. And I just don't think we can let this moral rot affect this beautiful community. These people are hard workers here. They are wonderful people. So they may not have the paperwork, that does not make them illegal. What they've done by taking the helicopter is just unconscionable. I know a lot of fishermen. I've been on the water myself, and you don't have long, like they said. And it's just pathetic that what this administration is trying to do. It must be stopped. I don't know how, but this is a good start. It's wonderful to see these people come out. I don't know where they lost their way in Washington, but we can't let it affect us. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, we're gonna cease, no, sir. It was 8 o'clock and we've committed to, we've done all we could to try to hear what we will be doing now, and will be that I'd like to give all our counselors an opportunity to express their thoughts. I also want to acknowledge our city staff who have just been working overtime and are still here. Just a couple of names of folks, because I think they need to be acknowledged. Is John Fuller, our communications director, who tries to make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Gia Jensen, who is here tonight, who is a woman who works with our immigrant communities. Lance Hollenbeck, our airport director, who's been, so I don't want to be in your shoes sometimes, Lance. Derek Tokos, our community development director, who just puts in all the hours and advises us. Chief Jason Malloy and our uniformed officers here who are here dedicated. And if I've missed anyone, and of course our city manager and our city attorney who get a little more face time. Anyway, what we will do now is go around. I'll have the councils have an opportunity to tell you what they're thinking, what they've heard. We've also had an offer which I'm accepting. Sledge Tribe has offered to close this meeting with a prayer. And I think that's a wonderful opportunity for us. And so when we are complete, we will ask them to lead us in their prayer. Councilor Raymond.
Thank you, Mayor. I mean, I am just gratified to see the community turnout. I mean, I speak for myself when I say, obviously, I am definitely 100% opposed to this facility, the concentration camp, as people were saying. I was shying away from that because of the loaded values, but I have ancestors who were killed in Nazi Germany. I see the parallels. I think many of us see these parallels, and we will fight as much as we can and as hard as we can to prevent this. And having the backing of the community really matters to us. And it matters to everyone because we will all need to be fighting and sending letters politically, maybe demonstrations, whatever it takes. And one of the things that we've heard, of course, is the loss of the helicopter, which is, I mean, beyond stupid. But there are some things politically that we can do. And I've actually looked it up. The Coast Guard is overseen by the House Transportation Committee in Washington, D.C. And I actually happen to have a couple of names, so we could write and telephone and complain to the people who theoretically have oversight over this, which is the full committee is Sam Graves. He's a Republican. He's the chairperson of that committee. The phone number is 202-225-9446. And Nick Christensen is the staff director. The email is transportation@mail.house.gov. The Coast Guard and Maritime Subcommittee is chaired by someone named Mike Ezell, also a Republican. Their phone number is 202-226-3552, and John C. Rainfield is the staff director. Now, I encourage everyone here to write, email, phone, whatever it takes to those people in Washington who don't give 2 cents of what's happening here. Let them know that there are hundreds and thousands of people along the Oregon coast in Newport who value that helicopter, and they're playing petty politics with us is not acceptable. Plus, we can continue to lobby our legislators and all the other people to let them know that ICE is not acceptable, that the violations of our constitutional rights are not acceptable, and they will have to pay a political price if they want to continue doing this. That is what we can do right now. I'm gratified to see that there are many people here. People have said that we as Newport community stand together, and I feel this is our chance now to stand together, to take direct action, to oppose the things that we have been seeing in our society, that we've been out here, no Kings rallies, we've been doing our bit. Well, now we've got some concrete actions we can take. And I encourage everyone to continue taking those actions, and I, for one, will support you in any way I can. And I am gonna fight for as much as is possible in my position to prevent anything like ICE coming to our town and getting our helicopter back. And that's all I really have to say, and I really, really admire the staff, as the mayor has said, they're putting in the overtime right now, so let's thank them. And also, the Coast Guard members themselves, they are not to blame. This comes from way up at the top. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, great. Even the thought of an ICE facility makes my blood curdle. As U.S. Senator Merkley stated, this is asinine. And to top it off, to have the Coast Guard helicopter being removed in the dark of night is beyond. By damn, we will fight this, all of this, and I'm so happy to see all of you here.
I honestly can't think that I disagree with anything that I've heard tonight, and you all have said it so eloquently that I don't need to repeat it. I feel so strongly about this in the way that my colleagues have already expressed. I have to share that I spent the better part of the morning reading the emails that have been sent to our city council and responding to a number of them. It ate a big chunk of my day, and it was well worth the time to hear from people far and wide, people nearby, and people across the state and across the country. So passionate and so clear about all of the things that we've talked about tonight. People saying that, you know, if this facility is here, they're going to stop coming here, they're going to stop spending their money here. People here talking about leaving and these sorts of things. These dangers and these threats are not threats, they're real. I'm really touched by so many of you that spoke up about offering support and wanting to participate, because that's what it's going to take. We up here have some influence and power, and we're going to do every damn thing we can think of to make this not happen, but it's only going to succeed with your help, and I'm so grateful that so many of you are willing to contribute, and as opportunities come up, we'll be sure and let you know where they are, but the only way we're going to prevail is together. I've spent a lot of time thinking about, a lot of time since Friday when we learned about this, or when I learned about why Newport? Why does this even make any sense? And a lot of folks have mirrored that, and obviously I don't know what it is, but I have thought, well, maybe somebody thought, oh, it's a small place, it's rural, they're probably quiet, we can overpower them. We've been underestimated. Absolutely underestimated, and you can feel it in this room and on Zoom and in those emails, and people in the hall and everywhere else. We have been underestimated, and we are not going to stop until we succeed in one form or another. Despite the volume of my voice, my profession is a teacher of mindfulness and compassion. And there is such a thing as fierce compassion, which is standing up for yourself and for other people, which is what's been demonstrated in this room. And I know from history that in every terrible, dark time of this world, empathy and compassion and kindness have ultimately prevailed. And it will prevail here too. And I could feel that compassion here in the room. So just one request, so you're all willing to pitch in. I think the important thing now is that everyone listening, everyone hearing these words needs to spread the word. So we're a huge number here already, but there's a huge number more people out there. And from reading those emails, people misunderstood what was going on. Now you know the truth. You know the facts as we know them. And we need you to share that we didn't ask for this. This was not a plan on our part. We are unanimously united against it. And we'll prevail because we have been underestimated.
So first of all, I want to thank everybody who came out. I want to thank the city staff for helping us and being here late. As many of you know, I was just appointed a couple months ago. This is not something that I thought would happen here. I am first generation. I'm a son of immigrants. From them taking the helicopter to them picking up community members off the streets to put them in camps and do stuff like that. This should open up your eyes. This should show you that it does not matter who you are. They will do whatever they want. Nobody is safe. The fact that it took the helicopter away with nobody knowing is strong evidence of that. The fact that they're picking up our neighbors is strong evidence of that. They don't care. It does not matter what shade of color you are. They don't care. They will do whatever they want. This isn't an issue for one race or another. This isn't one race against another. We are all one race. We are the human race. We should all band together. It's time to put aside all our differences and work together for the safety of every single member of this community. We are all one. There's no reason for us to attack each other. There's no reason for us to be against each other. We are one people. Thank you.
I would like to ask Robert to share that information with John Fuller and have it on the city website so people can look up the names and numbers to address for those specific concerns. It's really gratifying to see our community coming together tonight. I'm so proud to be here and to help represent you. You know, I was thinking that when people are doing good work and when people are proud of those actions, They don't hide under a cloak of secrecy and an $80 billion budget. But know this, that the city council, your city council, we pledge to be open with the information. We pledge to be transparent with what we learn, and as it evolves and our decisions are made, we will give you the best information that we have. And know this, we are going to fight. Testing.
You always do.
I am testing. Feel everybody take a deep breath. It's been quite a night. I echo my colleagues on the dais to say thank you to everyone who has submitted public comment. There have been a lot of comments. I recall only one comment that was like, sure, let ICE come. But I am heartened by the hundreds and hundreds of comments that were, hell no, not here. I am only disappointed by some of the misguided comments by people who love Newport, Oregon, who visit and put their money and their time and plan their vacations here and said, I'm not coming back. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Read all, pay a little bit more attention, because I don't think you got all the information from whatever news article headline you took in. Because we aren't the deciders here. So I just want people to take it all in. I am a proud American, and I am a proud lifelong Oregonian. And every time I come into these council chambers, I pledge allegiance with liberty and justice for all. And all does not have an asterisk. What this administration is doing is chilling. It is counter and contrary to the message of give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. It is utterly terrifying to think that this could, may, will, really is all happening. The cruelty is monstrous, the bullying is careless, the abject disregard for empathy is terrifying. They are hell-bent on causing madness and chaos and crippling and destabilizing our local community and economy, wreaking havoc, chaos, and fear, threatening the safety and dignity of our neighbors. Look around. How many people did we hear from tonight that said, bring it on, ICE, we want to see you here? Not one person testified to that. Just a show of hands, how many of you want ICE here? Right. Right. Threatening the safety and dignity of our neighbors and disappearing our workforce, all for the goal of audacious cruelty and transparent racism. Dr. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. I believe this administration. I also, along with my colleagues, along with you, will fight for that helicopter to return to 97366, I think technically it is. I also will fight for every inch of our Newport acreage that surrounds the airport facility that is deeded to the Coast Guard at the airport. We need you to fight alongside us, and it will be a protracted fight. And the feds don't believe us. They don't believe us. So we have to stay ready. I'm willing to use shame and guilt. I'm willing to call out and name the people who take these jobs that are posted. And let me be clear in the words of New York Mayor-elect Zoran Mondani, turn the volume up. You are not welcome here. You are not welcome here. We are and will remain the friendliest. And you are not who you think. We are not who you think we are.
thank, and again, my colleagues here, these are the greatest people in the world to work with. When we come together, we are fierce and we are a force. And we will be thinking about how to fight this and how to engage you in helping us to fight this. We are Newport. I know, seeing this tonight, this is why I live here. We are a community and we love each other and we need to fight together. And in my rounds around the state, people love Newport for some reason. I travel around and, every mayor I come across in the state says, I love your town. And I like a lot of other towns, but I never say that back because I wouldn't live it. And for good reason. And maybe we need to figure out how to reach out across the state and all the folks who love Newport and how they can help. Because the people are saying, if you do that, and I was up till midnight last night, Steve thankfully took over this morning, reading emails from people all over the state saying, we love Newport. We come there 3 times a year. We come there twice a year. My family and friends come there. When I have visitors from other countries, I tell them, go to Newport. And if you do this, I will never set foot again. I will not spend another dollar there, and I will tell everybody I know not to come there. Now, people have passion about this city, and we need to engage that. We need to support. It's more than writing and saying, we're mad at you, or we're mad that they can write. And we need to figure out how to get the information that Robert's putting forward and other information in the hands of other folks to help us fight. And so, again, thinking about all of that as we go, I got so much I want to say, and I'm not going to because I'll spare you. You've all said it. Thank you, Newport. We stand with you. We have a very kind offer, at least from Judy. Is Judy Mushkin? I hope is still here. Yes. If you would help us in closing.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
It's nice to see you.
It is.
My name is. Come on. Please. Yes.
You're welcome.
My name is Judy Muschamp. I'm on Silet's Tribal Council. With me is Celine Relatis, also Silet's Tribal Council. Lisa Norton, our Assistant Chief Executive Officer, we're from the Silet's Tribe. We didn't submit comment tonight because our esteemed Tribal Council Chairman is always our spokesperson for the tribe. We will be submitting comments through our many tribal attorneys to the many contacts that we have. So I thank you for holding this forum. It was a fact-finding mission for us so that we can make sure that all of the comments we heard and the viewpoints we heard are expressed in the comments that we eventually will develop. And thank you, Senator Gomberg, for your comments. Celine.
Yeah, I'll just keep it brief. We talked about concentration camps. That's where we live. We all know our history. If you don't know it, you really ought to learn it. What's happening here happened to our people in the 1800s. As a lot of you are aware that we overcame, we are here. Our ancestors prayed for us. So now we're going to pray for you all, as Judy has requested this. And that young girl, I hope she's here, but.
We'll pray for you.
And Scarlett asked me to speak. I'm like, I'm here as a citizen tax-paying gal, yeah. What are you doing? If you want to stand and hold your neighbor's hand, however you want to do it, however you pray, but we want to hold her hand. This is a spirit song. and truly live it now. And you can Wana, hey, hey, na. Wana, hey, hey. Uyate, kwaleshan, uyate, kwaleshan. Uyate, kwaleshan, uyate. Wana, hey, hey, na. Wana, hey, hey, hey. The God of God, Shania Shisui, the God be with each and every one in our community. Ooh.
Thank you so much to our other tribal neighbors, and that was wonderful, and we really appreciate it. I get to use my gavel now. This meeting is adjourned.
And oh, Jesus. Well, folks, thank you each and every one of you for tuning in and watching this with me. There's definitely hope to be had for this community, I would feel. Oh no, does anyone want to walk around with me and see if we can chat some people up and see how they feel about it? Sorry about that. All right, let's go walk around and see what people have to say. I did want to find. I did want to speak to our representative, Mr. Gomberg, there, and thank him for coming out. It looks like there's a lot going on here right now. My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Please do hit that like button on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend. Do any of you have anything you would like me to say to our representative, Mr. Gomberg, besides appreciation for coming out and speaking here today?
Yeah, this is really good.
Email.
Really? Well, I'm glad we got you here. It's a shame that information is so hard to get in this community. All right, we got you here. Mission accomplished.
I just wanted to say thank you for coming out and taking the time to speak here today.
I'm sorry I needed to.
I got just a few people still watching, but there was about 50 people watching on my channel, and we all appreciate you coming out and speaking. So how did you, can you disclose it, how you came across some of this information?
I started getting phone calls on Friday.
Okay.
And the problem was that it was people in confidence sharing information they had received in confidence. And certainly that ratchets up your awareness, your sensitivity, but it doesn't give you anything to grab hold of.
Right.
And then the first thing we found is the letter to cities saying we want to lease property. And then I sent out my newsletter.
Slide it on the late day.
Thank
I
you.
expect to hear something from my council tomorrow. I think they're
Good.
bringing it up in the executive session.
Sorry.
Thanks for making it out.
So then I sent out my newsletter, which I do every week, and somebody writes to me and says, I have a septic company, and we got this request for providing services at the airport for up to 10,000 gallons of sewage every day. And I couldn't imagine what was going on until I read your newsletter, and it all clicked. So that's a piece of the puzzle. And then my staff started finding some of the job postings online.
Okay. I saw something about that. Yeah. That's
bus drivers and medical personnel. And again, it's all pieces of evidence that lead to a conclusion, but nobody will tell us the truth.
Right. So we just have to speculate based on these bits and pieces, and that is not open and transparency. One of the main focuses I work on is education and transparency about our government.
Well, precisely, and that's the point I was trying to make here tonight. I mean, if you have honest information, you can make decisions about your own destiny, but there's something else I didn't say. When you have honest information, you can present legal challenges and procedural challenges, and electoral challenges to that information, which is why they're not giving it to us.
They don't want us to have a fair fight and have all the information, you know.
So, all right.
Thank you so much. My name's AJ. Rebel with a cause.
Well, and thanks for keeping people informed.
Yes, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Much appreciation to this gentleman here. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you again.
All right, drive carefully.
Will do. Lots of cool information there. Let's go outside and see if there's still anyone out there protesting on the street, folks. It's awful warm in this room anyway. I'll flip this around. Squeeze out this way. Chief Malloy over here. Squeeze by you, pardon me.
Don't worry. Yes, well said, AJ. Thanks.
Likewise. It was. There's a lot of people with a lot of good words here tonight. Councilwoman Cynthia over here, and I'm actually live streaming right now, and I just want to say I appreciate the council's unity in this. Me and all of my viewers really do appreciate the unity in standing against this. I can, like I said earlier,
Takes a village.
it really does, and it's refreshing to know that we are united against that. I'll let you guys get out of here. You have a great night.
Thank you for the comments.
Thank you for being
I'm gonna squeeze by you real quick. And like I was saying, folks, they had these screens set up out here in the hall for everyone to watch, and this hallway was completely filled up. This entire space was filled with people this evening, and it did not stop here. The community center across the parking lot was filled with people, I hear. I didn't actually go see that, but I don't doubt it for a minute. And as you can see, we still have people out here, Sasquatch out here in protest. Got some frogs. Howdy, folks. Just live streaming, letting everyone know that We are here.
Don't be an ass tie.
Say,
Can you see that tie?
oh yeah.
Oh, can you show them this tie we were talking about on my live stream? Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one, just shedding light.
The best tie of the night.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
It wasn't really, there wasn't a competition, but if there was, it would have been you hands down.
I'll take it.
Excellent freaking speeches.
Well, as we can see, folks, there's still people here on the street holding signs. Let's go see what their signs say over here. What's your sign say?
It says basically like fuck ice.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Chingala son migra. All right. Well, watch out. Careful. Car. And let's see. We got someone else down here. Oh, this is a person that spoke during the meeting tonight. Kind of a regular feature here in Newport with a painted surfboard. Let's see if we can get a picture of that.
I'm not entirely sure what they said. I've been on the hearing, so I don't know. But you know, the thing is,
All right.
people are bullies and they thrive off of people not standing up.
Yeah.
Like, so they like.
Ooh, it's a little wet out here, folks. All right. Well, folks, it is getting late. I gotta say, I'm a bit exhausted. It's been a long day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, and definitely subscribe. I appreciate all your guys' support and all the support that has got me to the point where I can live stream for you guys. Catch me tomorrow down in Waldport for their city council meeting. It should be a very interesting one. Lots of stuff going on there. Gonna see if we can ask some questions and figure out what's going on with some dumping that's happening there in town. Again, thank you, folks. Rebel with a cause. Catch you on the next one.